Welcome back. This is Ben. This is my Canadian hemlock. I believe the botanical name is Tsuga Canadensis. And well, when I first got it, the trunk was just a straight up and down trunk. But I made some wedge cuts on the trunk line and then bent it down with a guy wire. And so now it has this nice curve to it. It's already been styled once, and I'm ready to kind of redo it again because it has grown way out of shape. And I've been looking at this tree, studying this tree to see what I'm going to do to it, but I'm 100% confused by kind of the growth pattern. Here's the needles. And I made this bend here, actually ended up splitting this trunk last year, but it's healed and it's still alive. And you can kind of see some wire marks on this thing. It does back bud. It's a neat little tree. It's almost an automatic bonsai. And I guess you can kind of do pretty much whatever you want to this thing because it's relatively easy to shape. Got some weeds in here that I need to pull out. It's got a cool little trunk. I created that deadwood feature right there. Probably need to put some lime sulfur on that. Get it nice and white. Here's this angle. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do. Maybe create a flat top type of bonsai and bring the proportions, into place. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Let's get to work. Okay, so at the moment I kind of hate it. Looks pretty good from this angle, but I don't know. This tree was just definitely a cheap project. I don't know how I feel about it right now. It feels kind of all over the place. And I don't really like it very much. So, I don't know if I'm a fan of the flat top because, yeah. Well, I'll do something with it later on in the season. Every time I work on this thing, I just kind of come to a roadblock. I just can't move forward with it for some reason. I'm not gonna mess with it too much anymore. And you can see here I went on the cheap with the string. That's the level of investment that I'm putting into this tree. I don't even want to use wire on it right now. So yeah, that's it for now. I'll mess with it another time. Kind of ugly. Is the Canadian hemlock, or Tsuga Canadensis Jervis. Took off all the stupid string that I had on there. And I think it looks a lot better now. I mean, it's sort of a flat top type of bonsai, but I like it. It has kind of a literary look about it and very feminine lines. And I think it's ready for a new pot this year. Everything is still pretty dormant, even though we're into April now. It's still very chilly. So I think it's still pretty safe to get this guy into a pot and see how it'll look. Well, it's time to put this Tsuga Canadensis Jervis into a pot. Now I picked up this nice green bonsai pot. It has kind of like a bamboo type of appearance to it that I think would match well with kind of the flat top foliage on this Canadian hemlock. You know, I had no idea what I was going to do with this plant until, you know, you just start cleaning it up, you know, and then shaping it and working it. We're just kind of doing the basics, and eventually something will kind of come out of it, and you get a better sense of how to style the tree. So the tree looks like an acacia tree out of Africa, with, you know, this slightly curved trunk and then nice flat top. Very few lower branches. Most of it's all centralized to the top of the tree. So I guess that's kind of the look that I'm going for. It works well with it. And this is not a species that I have been able to find a lot of information about bonsai wise, or videos or pictures or anything. I've seen a couple, but they didn't really have any inspiration to work off of. So hopefully with this video, some of you folks might go out and get the same variety and feel like, hey, it's you know, it's a decent material or decent species to create bonsai out of. So and it's nice to kind of, you know, do something that not a lot of people have seen before. I mean, what's the purpose of watching 100 videos about wiring a juniper, right? That can get a little bit boring. So it'd be my kind of goal to create content about different varieties of trees. I've got Japanese black pine, I've got, you know, Japanese white pine. Not a lot, and they're not great specimens yet, but you know, it's there. But there's also a ton of information about those. So, you know, wouldn't it be nice if there was, you know, somebody or, you know, a place where you could find information about varieties that might not be very common in bonsai. And you know, I kind of want that to be a goal of mine. So there's that. We are hitting the golden hour right now. The sun is starting to come down, and it is beautiful. It should make for very beautiful light when we take pictures of this thing. This moss, I don't like it as much as the other moss, but it will have to do because that's all I've got right now at the moment. And I don't want this tree to lose too much water, because it's a very shallow pot, and we cut off a lot of roots. So I definitely want to be able to keep this thing moist and alive, essentially. The last thing I want to do is to have it dry out and die. So the next couple of days, I will have to really pay close attention to this thing. Okay. Tuck in the sides. All right. There you go. Okay, here's the tree after repotting, and I really like it. This is the front that I want right here. It has that nice kind of lean, soft, gentle, very feminine curve about it. And it's supposed to kind of look like one of those acacia trees out of Africa. So, yeah. I forgot to pull out a root. Anyways, I'm digging it, and I hope you do too. So there it is. This is the Canadian Hemlock Jervis. Just a nursery stock when I first got it. Now it's a complete bonsai that I hope will grow and develop very nicely. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Really appreciate you guys stopping by my channel. You know, I've done a lot of garden projects. Not a lot of time, so I try to do these videos quick. So hopefully, you know, you can go out and pick up one of these Canadian Hemlock Jervis and try to bonsai it yourself. It took about a year to get to this stage. See ya.